page on.
And so as we gather together here this day, we simply remain in that awareness that each and every one of us are indeed a channel for peace. And that as we gather this day as individualized expressions of the one, we know that this activity, this day, is blessed. We are blessed individually and collectively, and so this service this day is indeed the activity of God. We just give thanks now for a wonderful, wonderful day, and we let it unfold perfectly, and so it is. We are an interfaith gathering, a spiritual community that honors all teachings and all spiritual teachers. Now we begin the ceremony that celebrates this oneness of life, which acknowledges that all peoples and all faiths come from the one universal presence which we call Spirit. Our candle lighter this morning is Bill. Let us begin. The Tao, honoring the universal path of harmony and equilibrium, the natural way. Shamanic traditions, honoring the beliefs and practices of all indigenous peoples, the way of pristine spirituality. Hinduism, honoring the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. Judaism, honoring the ethical path of living by sacred law. Buddhism, honoring the Four Noble Truths and the path of compassion. Christianity, honoring the Christ consciousness as the path of love. Islam, honoring the path of submission to the will of God as the highest calling. New Thought, honoring the metaphysical path of mental healing through the practice of universal spiritual principles. And now the last candle is the healing candle of love. We invite you in the stillness of your own mind to bring to awareness the names of anyone you wish to be included in this healing flame of love and light. Now that all of our flames of faith are fully lighted, we move forward into our celebration, realizing and reaffirming that all paths lead to God. Thank you, Bill. Our inspirational quote today is from Jane Beach. Who else would it be from with Linda talking? It's called Choosing Opportunities for Peace. Opportunities to choose peace show up all day long. I choose peace the moment I hold a space for love when I feel angry. I choose peace when I bite my tongue instead of giving my uninvited opinion. I choose peace every time I put myself in someone else's shoes, seeking to understand their point of view. I choose peace when I forgive myself for any wrongdoing, which helps me to forgive others. Choosing peace is a very worthy practice. I look for opportunities to choose peace, and I take them. Now.
So I picked the topic peace because I thought it would be easy, right? But the more I thought about it, I couldn't determine whether I wanted to talk about world peace, inner peace, or world peas, right? And then I have my Trader Joe's inner peas. So I went around the block a bit because it didn't come to me easily. Isn't that interesting? Thich Nhat Hanh said, peace is not merely a distant goal, but a journey that we walk with every step. So I did all this research. I'm going to refer to my notes here. Because I was like, okay, how do we be at peace? I suddenly forgot. So I did all this research, and I can say things like, when we drop into chaos, when we drop into non-peace with that unexpected bill that showed up, perhaps you get a flat tire, maybe you have a disagreement with a friend, or you get involved with loved ones' stuff, maybe you have an accident. And then it was like, okay, well, if all that happens, what do you do? Well, what do we believe? What do religious scientists believe? Well, we believe that if you descend into chaos, the universe is sitting there going, oh, chaos, yes. They want more chaos. And they send you more chaos. Crap. So what is it that we can do? So I came up with this list of suggestions because I did research for this talk. And so it's like, self-care, do your hobby, set realistic expectations. This is a good time of year for that. Connect with your loved ones, practice gratitude, eat cookies, meditate, simplify celebrations. And then last but not least, and I really, truly, absolutely believe this one, is help others. That'll get you out of anything, won't it? But then I remembered who I was. I was like, I could talk about all that stuff. But no. I thought about Reverend Don, and he always has his 3 points in a suit. And I thought about Kaleem, and he always has his acronyms. Do you know how long I sat there trying to come up with an acronym for peace? I don't know how he does it. But then I realized who I was. And I remembered that I tell stories. And so that's what I'm going to do today. So this week was interesting. So pandemic, I lost my job, I lost the career that I've been doing for, 45 years, and all of a sudden I land at this company as an accountant. Are you kidding me? As an accountant, I'm a salesperson that knows a lot about numbers. So I took the job, and this week, like most companies, we had 2 parties. The first party was the employee Christmas party. Can I tell you how much I hate employee Christmas parties? Oh my God, you have to get dressed up, and you have to, for many years I had to find the fake boyfriend. It was just, true story. Would go and find the cutest gay man I could find. Promised him drinks all night, and it was good. So I didn't know what to expect. And I was kind of surprised that I decided to go. But one of the things was, and I love this about our company, is that clothing is never having to be dressed up. You get to come as you are. And so I show up, and my fellow employees are dressed in the most extraordinary Christmas outfits. Everything's flashing and blinky and glittery. My bosses both wore those Christmas onesies at Fred Meyer. I was like, okay. It was like, it certainly was different than any other company Christmas party I'd ever been to. And of course, I didn't have any Christmas gear. Like I found a shirt that was kind of red, and I wore that. But there were hats, everything, for jewelry, socks. It was amazing. And I got to sit there, and I got to watch my fellow employees have a blast. Like they were joking and laughing, and yes, family members were invited, and they were introduced. This is my husband, this is my neighbor, this is my dog. It was great. It was awesome. People were enjoying themselves, having a good time. And of course, we did the white Christmas, the white elephant gift exchange. Who knew that people would fight over a Grinch coffee mug? Okay, I'm like, okay. They also fought, this is always good information, they also kind of fought over a blanket that said, be kind. Isn't that crazy? The top gift was the cast iron skillet, which was interesting because husband and wife teams conspired to get the gifts that they wanted. Now, when I went up to pick out my gift, since I didn't have any bling, I picked out the gift. I'm going to take this back off so it doesn't mess with the microphone. But I picked out the gift that had this attached to the top of it. Isn't that great? My God, I got some bling. I was like in with the rest of the crowd, right? And I got to wear that the next night. So there was joy in that room. Somebody had just gotten married that morning. Can you imagine you get married in the morning and you come to the company Christmas party? It was great. We celebrated her. We celebrated the new husband. It was great. It was, oh my God, it was just fun. When was the last time you went to a company Christmas party and it was fun? And people were sober. I'm telling you, right? So I went home that night, and the next morning I woke up to a ding, and it was my phone. I got a text. And it was from one of my bosses, who's co-owner of the company. And she said, Linda, the other co-owner of the company, the other boss, we'd like to meet with you at 12:30 on Friday. Uh-huh. 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 All those people are going, that's exactly what I did. Exactly, because that is an Achilles heel of mine, is being told you need to be in the boss's office. So, suffice to say, the rest of the day, I'm like, okay, all right, did I say something wrong at the party? Did I wear the wrong outfit? Did I eat too much food? What happened? What did I do wrong? Because that's the only thing it could be, right? The two of them want to see me. I was like, oh, whew. And I realized that I always do that. Whenever I have a boss, I've been working 45 years. And every time I get that, you need to be in your boss's office. Crap. I pretty much figured I wasn't getting fired because I was still going to the parties. That would be, awkward to have somebody come to the party and fire them the next day, right? So I truly felt like, oh, crap. I did or said something wrong. So that night was our client Christmas party. Now, we work with adults who have developmental disabilities and physical disabilities. So I actually worked the party. I was working the door, and I got to see everybody come in. And again, with the outfits. Oh my God, there was so much joy in what people wore. There was hats and t-shirts and socks and shoes, and it was just pure joy. And we had a few people who dressed up because that's what they wanted to do. And so they bounded through the door. There was laughter, and there was highs, and there was like hugs, and there was excitement. And the employees, but not me, which is great. Nobody asked me to cook. Yes. But there were no olives, so next year, no, bring olives. So turkey, ham, the stuffing, desserts, everything. It was a great meal. And then after the meal, and kind of during the meal, people were dancing. Now, I don't know if you've ever been to a party with developmentally delayed adults, but it's a blast. I'm out there and I'm dancing, and I realize I haven't danced in like 20 years, so my rhythm is really like exactly what I'm doing right now. But nobody cared. Nobody cared, and nobody was looking at me. I just got to be crazy in my dancing. Woohoo! I'm out there. Choo, choo, choo. And then it happened. The door opened, and the real Santa Claus with a bag of gifts on his back walked in. I thought I was at a Taylor Swift concert. There's screaming and there's yelling, there's jumping, Santa, Santa, Santa. The average age of what our clients is like somewhere between 40 and 50, 30, 40, 50. We're not talking 17-year-olds. But there's so much excitement. Santa's here, Santa's here, Santa's here. Now, everybody had gotten to fill out a Christmas wish list. And so Santa, we pass those on to Santa. And so Santa had brought gifts for each person. Each client got a gift, and it was a gift that they had put on their Christmas wish. Oh my God, so everybody gathers down by Santa, by the tree, and they're handing out the gifts. And can you imagine the excitement? They get the gift and they open it, and it's something like a Purple Rain t-shirt or the Smush marshmallow things. It was so loud in that room because people were so excited that I could barely hear what was being said, but the name got called, and people would run up and they would stand next to Santa and they would get their gift and they'd get their picture taken, and then it's like, okay, you have to go sit down, and be like, but it's Santa. And I'd be like, okay. So, oh my God. I don't know how that building contained the joy. I just don't. So I had been standing up front near Santa because I'm still trying to learn the names of everybody. But then I heard there were brownies. So I'm kind of wandering back to the dessert table, and what do I hear? Linda Steiner. And I'm like, me? There's a gift for me from Santa? So literally, I'm running from the back of the Viking Hall up to Santa. I'm like, hi! And the gift I got was a magnifying glass, which is hysterical. I had been asking for this because the timesheets that come to me sometimes are this big. And so instead of trying to change how they came to me, I wanted a magnifying glass so I could do my job. I was so excited. It's like this was better than a brand new car. Yes, yes. It was amazing. In between that gift and the gifts that were given to the employees the night before, I mean, seriously had gotten more Christmas gifts in these two parties than I've gotten for years. So I was like, cool, this is kind of fun. Except I have a meeting with the bosses the next day at 12:30. And I'm like, kind of avoiding them the night. And I'm just like, I'm still nervous, but I was kind of at peace because I had just been surrounded by so much pure joy. Genuine joy. And the person who got the most out of the party was Santa. He, on his way out to his sleigh, he was like, I love stopping here. I was like, yes. But now I'm home, and that 12:30 meeting starts to sit on me. I'm actually going to read you the actual text I got, because I want you to understand how far I fell. I get this text, and I immediately went into, I'm in trouble. But here's the text that was sent to me. Good morning, my friend. Clue 1. I'm checking to see if you are available tomorrow for lunch with Vic and I. She should be done about noon, so we were thinking maybe 12:30. And we could pick up whatever your favorite food is. They're like Beartooth, Thai, or whatever you like. I have never gotten a write-up and lunch at the same time. But did I clue into that? No, I'm in trouble. So we would, or whatever you like, we would like to meet with you to discuss your first year. Oh, crap. And just connect. Let me know if that works for you. Okay. So I'm planning my final meal. Right? I'm like, okay. If I'm going to get written up, I'm going to at least get a good lunch out of it. So, Thai from A Taste of Thai. Allison's laughing because that's what we always do. It's like I didn't paint outside the lines very long. But, like, isn't that a scary text to get? When you also be completely on edge and ready to be fired or ready to be disciplined? Like, I'm like, oh, okay. So I show up, and sure enough, you know, the food's there, and unbeknownst to me, other people joined us to eat lunch. And I walk in, and I'm like, okay, I'm here. And Cindy and Vic looked at me and said, you know what? We missed your birthday, which was the beginning of November, and so we just wanted to celebrate your birthday by buying you lunch. I'm like, oh, okay. This again is a good, you know, I don't think I'm going to get fired. And so it was just this really laid-back, casual thing. You know, did we talk business? Yeah, but we talked more about, you know, things that needed to get done before the end of the year. And then came the point where they asked the other people to leave the room. Here it comes, because I don't know about you guys, but I hate to be, I don't want to say I hate to be wrong, but I hate to disappoint. And I hate to say the wrong thing. Yeah, anybody else like that? So I'm sitting there, and literally they said, you have no idea how grateful we are that you are a member of this company. We're so happy with you, and we love that you work here. Sign this piece of paper. It's your raise. Yes! And thank you. Thank you for working for us. Not, yeah, with us, not for us, but with us. And I was like, wow. especially since one of my bosses only came into town for like 5 days. She lives in Hawaii. So it was like, and for them to take the time out of their day to bring me, to have lunch with me and give me a raise, the two of them together versus just my direct report, I was like, wow, I felt really special. I was like, I love this company, even though I'm not an accountant. Joy, happiness. Seeing who each other were and just rolling with who people are. You know, there's been a few times where she didn't. And I would be told, well, blah, 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 blah. And I'd be like, oh, okay, now I understand. Now I get it. And so, but I've never been yelled at. I've never been disciplined. Every time I think I'm going to be disciplined, that's usually, no, you did a really great job. We're really proud of you. Thank you so much. I'm like, wow. And I'm like, how am I walking around with this piece of me that needs to change? And that's where the universe comes in, and that's where this philosophy comes in, is I need to let go of this. It's taking my peace. So what do we know about peace? It begins with us, right where we are. And then it goes out into the world. I wish all of you could have been at that party, because I'm still laughing and smiling about it. And I also just want to, I had been encouraged to take this job months on end, and I finally took the job. And it was because Allison Wilson said to me, you're a unicorn, and you need to work in a unicorn company. And so I took a job that I never would have considered, because Allison guided me to a unicorn company. So I'm just forever grateful, Allison. And I get to work with Allison. I hope you all have an Allison in your life that sees who you are and then directs you to that. Yes. Well, okay, so I'm going to go through my notes because I know there's something else I was supposed to stay in here. So in that realization that I've work to do, I can't give up so easily, because peace begins with me, and the way the universe gives me peace is through experiences. And so this week I got to have experiences. And so I'm going to go back to that quote. Peace is not merely a distant goal, but a journey that we walk with every step. And I'm going to finish with a Mother Teresa quote that says, peace begins with a smile. And so as I end, I'd like you each to kind of look at each other and say, peace be with you. So have at it. Thank you. And don't ever forget that sometimes the best gifts are unexpected. Thank you very much, everyone.
And so it is with this awareness that peace begins within each and every one of us and goes out from us to the entire world that I invite my colleagues, the practitioners to join me in holding our congregation, those here in house as well as those online, live as well as later, in love and light, and stepping into that thing that we call prayer, which we know absolutely works, and knowing that that peace is who we are. And once we get our bloated nothingness out of the way and allow that to flow through us, nothing is too great for our lives. We don't need to worry about a 12:30 appointment. We don't need to worry about not being enough. We don't need to worry about mistakes, because we know that we are expressions of that infinitely powerful, infinitely intelligent Creator, which is guiding us to a perfect life. So we just give thanks. We give thanks for this magnificent life. And now we step into that life with our magnifying glasses on all of the details. We let it go, we let it be, and so it is.